Today, we're diving into the essential skills that really separate a passenger from a true pilot. We're going to build your personal P2 toolkit, the one you'll use to really master the skies.
So let's start with a big question, maybe the most important one. What's the real difference between just kind of floating down on a glider and actively, truly flying it?
And the answer really is all about control. It's moving from just reacting to what the air does to proactively telling the wing what you want it to do. It's all about building this, let's call it a pilot's toolkit, a set of skills you can pull from to manage every single part of your flight. So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll talk about that mental shift from glider to pilot. Then we'll start stocking our toolkit with ways to manage your altitude and your speed. After that, we'll get into the real art of control, and we'll finish up with what's arguably the most important part, absolutely nailing the landing.
You know, this first step is a big one, and it's mostly in your head. The P2 maneuvers we're about to cover, these are the things that mark that transition. You stop being just along for the ride, and you become the pilot in command, the one making the decisions.
All right, let's get into it. Time to start filling up that toolkit. First up are the tools for controlling your vertical position. Because flying isn't just about going forward, right? It's about deciding when you want to go up, and more importantly, when you need to come down.
And really, altitude control is a two-sided coin. On one side, you've got your 360-degree turns to help you stay in rising air and climb. But on the other side, you've got a maneuver called big ears for when you need to get down right now safely. Two totally different problems, two very specific tools for the job.
So mastering the 360 is your ticket to staying up, to climbing in thermals. It's really a dance. You look where you want to go, you lean your whole body into it, then you add that smooth, steady brake. And the key part? You have to anticipate the end of the turn. The wing will want to dive a little as it levels out, and your job is to be ready for it and just gently catch it.
Okay, so what about the opposite problem? You gotta get down. Big ears is your go-to tool. And the physics here is actually pretty cool. By folding in just the wingtips, you're making the wing smaller, but it's still carrying your entire weight. This seriously ramps up the internal pressure in the part of the wing that's still flying, making it incredibly stable and way more resistant to collapses.
Now, listen up, because this is the most important thing to remember. Once those ears are in, your brakes are for one thing only, flaring at the very end. To steer, you use your weight shift. Why? Because with the ears in, your wing is already flying slow. If you pull the brakes to try and steer, you can easily push it over the edge into a full-on stall. So you steer with your butt, not your hand.
Okay, so we've got up and down covered. Now let's talk about going forward. It's time to add the horizontal tools to our kit and master your speed.
Oh man, every pilot has faced this. You're trying to push into the wind to get to your landing zone, you look down, and you're not moving. Or even worse, you're actually flying backwards. So what's the tool for that?
It's the speed bar. The best way to think about it is like the gas pedal in your car. When you push on it with your feet, it pulls down on the front risers, which tilts the front of your wing down. This lowers its angle of attack, lets it slice through the air faster, and helps you penetrate into that headwind.
But this is a powerful tool, and with great power comes, well, you know. There is a golden rule here. Because you're flying with a lower angle of attack, the wing is much closer to having a frontal collapse if you hit a big gust. That's why you absolutely never, ever use it when you're close to the ground or flying in really bumpy, turbulent air.
So we've got tools for up, down, and forward. Now let's talk about finesse. This is where we go beyond just mechanical inputs. This is about developing a real feel for the air. We're talking about active piloting, that constant, subtle conversation you're always having with your wing to tape it happy and flying right over your head.
Active piloting really is like a constant conversation. If the wing surges forward, that's it telling you, hey, we just hit some lift. Your job is to say, I know, and gently catch it with the brakes to keep it overhead. If it falls behind, it's telling you it's losing energy, so you release the brakes to let it fly and pick up speed. It's this constant little dance of catch and release.
And what if a piece of the wing does fold over? An asymmetric collapse can definitely get your attention, but recovering from it is a core skill you practice. The instant it happens, your brain needs to go to a simple mantra: wait, brake, pump. You throw all your weight to the open, flying side to stop the turn. You use just enough counterbrake on that same side to stay on course. Then you give a nice, long, smooth pump of the brake on the collapsed side to help it reinflate. That's it.
All right, we've flown high, we've flown fast, and we've managed bumpy air. Now for the most important part of any flight,
bringing it all home for a safe, soft landing. This is where you need your precision toolkit.
Now, when you're setting up for that final approach, you've got a couple options, but as you can see, one is just way better for the job. 360s are awesome for burning off a ton of altitude way up high, but S-turns are your go-to tool for that last bit. And the biggest reason? You never, ever lose sight of your landing spot.
And to fly the perfect S-turn approach, there are 2 golden rules. Rule number 1, you always make your turns away from the landing zone. That way you can't accidentally turn too far and overshoot it. And rule number 2, and this one's a biggie, obey the no-turn zone. Once you get below about 100 feet, you're done turning. You just commit and fly a straight line to your spot. No low, sharp turns near the ground. Ever.
So let's recap the whole toolkit, right? You've got big ears to get down, 360s to stay up, the speed bar to push forward, active piloting to stay safe, and asymmetric practice so you're always ready. Each tool has a specific purpose, and each one comes with a risk you have to manage. Knowing which tool to use and when, well, that's what makes you a pilot.
And in the end, that's what this is all about. You're not just a passenger anymore. You have the tools now to manage your altitude, your speed, and your safety. The sky isn't just a place you fall through. It's a three-dimensional space you can navigate and explore. So the real question is, now that you've got the toolkit, how are you going to shape your flight?